My name is Keith Powell. I'm the author of Living in the Shadow of Fisher Peak, a historical novel about the Kootenays, and I certainly would like to thank the Kootenay Library Federation for shortlisting my book as one of the One Kootenay, One Book, One Kootenay finalists this year. And I'd like to also congratulate the other authors as well, Eileen and Rosa. Certainly appreciate the fact that they're part of this as well. So just to tell you a little bit about my book, many people will recognize Fisher Peak as the most prominent peak in the Rocky Mountains near Fort Steele. And at the base of Fort Steele is Wild Horse Creek. And Wild Horse Creek was the site of one of the richest gold finds in western North America back in the 1860s. So my book follows the life of Jack Fisher. Jack Fisher is the fellow that led the American prospectors into Kootenay country, and they ended up discovering gold in 1864 on the banks of Wild Horse Creek. Fisher actually had an interesting life. When he was 16, he set out from Philadelphia across to California. He was a California 49er and spent about 10 years prospecting for gold in California. And from there, he made his way north and made his way up into Oregon and Washington. And there was persistent rumors out of Walla Walla, Washington, which was sort of the regional hub at that time, that there was gold in Kootenay country or in the Rocky Mountains. And it was Fisher's goal to get up and see if he couldn't discover this gold. So in about March of 1864, he headed north, and he was on his way to Finley Creek, which is just south of present-day Fairmont Hot Springs. But the snow was too deep, and they ended up stopping at Wild Horse Creek, and they did what prospectors do, and that's simply they started to look for gold in that stream, not really anticipating finding anything, but I think they went about 5 kilometers up the stream or the river, and lo and behold, they struck gold, and it was turned out to be one of the richest strikes, single stream strikes in western North America. So the book really just follows his life. He spent the rest of his life searching for gold or ranching in Flathead country, which is in Montana. So I just wanted to read a passage from the book and sort of give you the flavor of what it's all about. So as I mentioned, he had spent a fair bit of time in California, so I'll just go ahead and read this passage. It says, "It was a gray November morning and a layer of icy frost coated the ground. Heavy rain clouds crowded the valley floor, and a blizzard shrouded the nearby mountaintops. Jack Fisher lay in his bedroll trying to capture a few extra minutes of rest to ease his aching body. Suddenly, without warning, the flap of his tent was ripped open, and the ugly barrel of a well-worn six-shooter was thrust through the opening. "Face down and don't move," growled the raspy voice of a large man whose face was hidden behind a tightly wrapped bandana. "You make one move and you're a dead man, you understand. Make one twitch and your brains will be all over the side of this tent." Jack felt the cold, hard steel of the gun's barrel dig into the back of his neck. All he could see was a pair of large, heavy boots with a small, red, triangular-shaped patch on the back, planted inches from his flattened face. An overwhelming odor of musty malt liquor filled the tent. "Where's the gold, Fisher? Everyone knows you've been socking it away for months," he snarled in his gravelly voice. "Just tell me where the gold is and you won't get hurt. Get your hands behind your back." Jack felt a searing pain shoot through his shoulder blades as the assailant thrust his knee into the small of his back, pinning him to the canvas floor of the tent. The big man roughly tied Jack's hands behind his back and then hog-tied his feet together. Face down, Jack tried to speak, but nothing came out except a muffle of jumbled sounds. "Speak up. Where are you keeping all that gold you've been squirreling away? Under your bedroll?" Jack sensed the burglars searching every corner of his tent. Off in one corner of the tent, Jack had kept a sturdy metal box that he had brought all the way from Philadelphia. It was one that he had handcrafted in his father's blacksmith shop back home. He had stamped a small JF in the bottom right-hand corner. It was bolted shut with a heavy padlock. It contained all the gold he had found. "So where's the key to the box, boy? Hurry up, tell me. I've got no time to waste here." Jack didn't have time to answer even if he wanted to, because the robber spied the string around his neck from which a key dangled. With one mighty jerk, the robber yanked the key free from his neck. He bent down and opened the box, and Jack's gold was gone. "No, don't take my gold. That's my entire season's earnings." Jack made a muffled plea just moments before the heavy butt of a six-shooter cracked mercilessly across the back of his skull. Jack's eyes glazed over and everything turned inky black. "All the gold a man gets in California he gets by hard licks," one 49er from Missouri was heard to say. When young Jack Fisher started painfully to stir from the black cloud of unconsciousness, he knew the meaning of a hard lick.